welcome back to another episode of Osikoya Speaks. I'm still your host, Wonu Osikoya. Get it right, as always. Today, I'm joined by a very, very important part of Afrobeats and its culture. Today, I'm joined by JumokeCake. No, but Jumoke, where did that name come from? JummieCake.
I wanted a Twitter handle,
Alright.
and then Jumoke, and then cake. It was just so, and I'm like, oh wait, and I was just playing around with some things, and then cake was like, JummieCake.
It stuck. Literally, I was asking like my manager if he knows you, and he's doing Jumoke. I'm like, JummieCake. I was like, oh, JummieCake.
Yeah, I think that people sometimes
Like,
it's confusing. So I just ask people now, what do you know me as?
Just to be sure.
Like,
Get it right. I hear that. I get. Anyways, thank you for joining me today. Happy to have you here. It's an honor. I respect your work. I know, like, this is even me being so serious.
I was on the ground. Sorry.
Please don't be shy. I really respect the work that you do, and I'm just so happy to have you here.
Thank
happy to have a
you.
conversation with you today. But how you feeling? How you doing?
I'm jiggy. I'm good.
Good.
I'm fine.
Loving
How
it.
are you?
Me, I'm okay. I'm getting back into it. I told you I wasn't feeling too well yesterday, day before yesterday, but even till now, but I'm managing myself. Said we must do this. I don't want to.
Motion.
Always. You understand? So that this week doesn't just go to waste, because I'm not even allowed to do that,
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here with me today. I have a few questions for you, not to make you uncomfortable. But yeah, we're just going to have like a cute conversation and keep it like soft and simple.
Okay.
So, how has the first quarter of the year been for you? First of all, happy International Women. No, sorry,
It's Women's Month.
Yeah, Women's History Month. Yeah, so happy Women's History Month.
Happy Women's History Month.
Thank you.
too.
How's the first quarter of the year been for you?
So far calm. I mean, I think for most part of it, I haven't been around.
All right.
I've just been like, enjoying the world and all of that, trying
Flying.
to plan like the year ahead and all of that. So it's been calm.
Yeah, I love that.
I hope I haven't jinxed it now.
No, please, no. It's been calm, and we respect that, and that's how the rest of the year is going to be. Please,
I'm
just
my
calm.
soft era, please. Everybody,
As you
take
should
notes.
be. Please, no stress, none of
Trying
that.
to clear anything, please. She's in a soft era. We're leading with love and kindness.
She's fasting.
Please.
So what have you been watching? What have you been listening to outside of like work and stuff? Have you been able to like
Okay,
do
so
anything?
I enjoy reading books.
Right.
So one of the things that I've said to myself is, work can get crazy. So even sometimes things that you enjoy, you don't have time for. So this year I've said to myself, look, make time for work, make time for myself and things that I enjoy. So I've started reading again.
Nice.
At least I try to read like one book in a month.
Yeah.
I haven't read anything for March, to be honest. And I'm like, shit. Oh, can I say that?
No, yeah, you can.
Okay. And so I'm like, I need to do that because it's about consistency for me this year as well. So
very important. I feel like people are really taking consistency seriously, because that's also like a major thing for me this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, March is not yet over. We still have how many days? Well, not many days, but you can still read a book.
Yes.
You can definitely still do that. And you haven't been really watching anything. You've just been like reading.
I just finished the residency. It came out how many? So that's the thing with me. Once I start something, like I have to finish. So I'm done with that, and I saw Baby Farm. And
did you? Is that nice?
Yeah, it is.
You enjoyed it?
I did.
I've
actually
been meaning to watch it, but I haven't had the time. I was going to watch it over the weekend.
I just thought maybe I was expecting more towards the end, but
I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing with like Nollywood, but like once it starts getting towards like the end, it's like the story just.
Maybe I was just expecting more vim, like more. Yeah, but it was good.
Sense. Fair enough. So you studied law in Babcock University. Please, let's come to Babcock and its stories. How was Babcock for you personally? Did you enjoy the experience? Law 5 years.
Yeah.
So 5 years. Did you enjoy? in 5 years?
I guess so, to be honest, because I think that at that point, I didn't like. I've always thought that education is a necessary evil. I'm pro school. Like, I'll tell everyone go to school and all of that. And I mean, if you know Babcock, you know the rules. So it was just, I'm like, oh God, how will I survive? But I remember my first day there, I saw like the someone from the student association,
Right.
and I just said to myself, you know what, if I'm going to survive in this school, I need to do something. I need to find something that's yeah. So I mean, and I think it was just my final year that I didn't run for anything, to be honest. But the first time I was director of works, because I started as I crossed over to law. It was international law and diplomacy first. So they were like, oh, after the first year you can move to law. But they were very like, I mean, they had like rules for that. So my second year I moved to law, and then I was director of socials for the law department, and then after a while for the university. So there was one person from main campus and another person from my campus for booster. So
all right.
Yeah. So
not the memory.
Yes, I think that sort of like helped me in school, because I am one person that I think that if there's anyone in a position, you should do something meaningful. So, I mean, I hated school, and there's something to
like that's very real. Like,
so yeah, that was it for me. And I think because I sort of had like a cordial relationship with the school authorities, so it's like, oh, they stressed me. I can't lie. I mean, there are times that I would want to do something, they will say no, and I'll go back. I remember as early as 6 one time, I was in front of the VC's house, and when I was driving, I was like, Jumoke. I'm like, they've said no to me. And it's like, what's it? I'm like, see, you can check it. And it was like, okay. And he signed something on it. And then I went back to the person, and it's like, what was this? I'm like, well, it's from the VC. I was like,
anyways, we got it.
Yes. I mean, I think that Babcock that's also sort of like, to be honest, I didn't think that I was going to do anything in the music space. I knew people there and all of that. I was just knowing them and just being cool with them. My best friend at that time was doing music. So it was just like, okay, I didn't think it was management at that point, to be honest. I was just like, you have show where, let's go. You have to take photos, you have to do this, blah, blah, blah. But thinking about it now, I think, it was kind of like, exactly.
That's the part. But like at the time, obviously, it was like,
I was just enjoying myself, to be honest.
But that's interesting that you mentioned that, because like, obviously we're coming into like you being the manager and just like entertainment law and stuff like that. Do you always know? Well, you said you didn't really know.
I wanted to do maritime law.
Are you serious?
Money, please.
Are you serious? How did you find yourself inside Afrobeats?
I honestly don't know, to be honest. But then I think that things just have a way of happening.
Yeah,
like, if it's meant to be.
Yeah, but did you like leaving school like towards the ending of school, getting to like 400, 500 level, did you have like any idea that, okay, you know what, maybe there's a place for entertainment somewhere? Because I know that towards the end of school is when people start to like think about it. So how did you crossover? What was the crossover like? Or how did you even find yourself doing anything entertainment?
So I think my first experience was Stars Academy.
Right.
And it was just, I was serving in Sokoto then.
Whoa.
I was working with the Attorney General.
Whoa.
And then my friend like reached out to me like, oh, we have this thing that we're doing, but I don't have time now, but I need help with it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. So I left Sokoto, I came to Lagos, and I was the administrator then. So it was just to make sure that the program went on smoothly and all of that. And I just did my own and went back. And I didn't think there was anything. That's where I met P Prime, actually. So it was.
It's been a minute. So it's been a while.
Yeah, 2018.
Whoa. Wow.
So it was there, but he would keep in touch. They would text even the other people, but I honestly didn't think that was. I was just helping my friend and vibing, like, you know, whatever will happen, will happen. Yeah.
Right. And then it just, I mean, like, see where you are now. But what's it like again now, like working with some of the most, you know, some of the greatest producers in Afrobeats right now, like literally some of the greatest. Like, it's not even cap. It's like, well, you think about people like Prime, you think about people like Shemzy. You're working with Tales. Like, there's a bunch of them, and you're mentioning names, and you're like, whoa, this is crazy. Because when I was doing my research, I'm like, Tales too. Tales too. What's it like though? Like working with, again, like also working with producers in particular, because you work with any artists.
Yeah, Gimba and then Tiwa.
Oh yeah,
Legal, yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know
I
that you
manage
legal work
Gimba.
for. Oh, right, you manage him. That's interesting. But like you work more with producers. You find yourself working more with producers.
Yeah, because I mean,
that's not intentional, though, is it?
I don't think it was, but maybe it is. Maybe I honestly don't know. But I mean, you know that for me in the beginning it was, and I think that's also what the SARS Academy is about. It's like producers are also like a vital part of this journey, and you'd find that people would ignore them or just say, oh, it's just a beat maker and all of that. So my work with starting with Prime first, I realized that, you know, I think then I was always fighting. Oh my days. I'm always screaming on the phone because somebody will call you. I was like, oh, what did you do? Like this or that.
What did you do?
Shit? And then I'm losing it. Like, sure, but when you're winning, what do you mean? What did you do? Like, okay, take your music. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, so if you want to make jollof rice, do you not need the pepper? Do you not need the rice?
You have to break it down for people. Like,
so oh my God, I was really upset. My days. But then and then after a while, I realized that maybe these people don't genuinely know. Maybe I'm here to educate people.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the part that's the role that I would play in this. So it's sort of like helped how I was thinking. So I necessarily won't just roll my eyes when you call or send something. So I would try as much as possible to educate the next person, like, oh, this is it, that. But again, if you decide to be stupid, I'm sorry. It's like, okay, let's all go there. But I'm never that person. If anything, I understand the work that both parties have done. And it's not... I mean, it's not a thing of joy for the arts not to come out, not for people not to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I always try to, I'm like, okay, you're looking out for your person, I'm looking out for my person. Where do we meet so that everyone is comfortable? So yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. And that's very interesting that like you even mentioned that. I'm just thinking about, like you said, the way that people don't really, would I say, respect, or I think for me, I would just say that I feel like people don't really like take out time enough to actually like learn these things. And like you said, you're now here, like you feel like you're here to actually like, you know, educate people and help people understand that like, okay, things don't have to be done this way. But you still find people like just, you know, I mean, I guess you do, but like just being like unreasonable, like not being fair and just being like, you know, ridiculous. And how do you kind of like?
Yeah, so yes, and I'm a big, is it believer or what's it called? So I tell people, look, tone matters a lot when you're speaking to people.
Okay.
And I also try to remember myself. So the energy that you bring to me is what I would respond with. So if you're coming to me like, oh, we want to drop this, blah, blah, blah. The first thing I will do is I'll give you the rates, Chiges. If you want to negotiate, that's on you. If you want to pay me my full money, that's also on you. I'm happy. So, and then when I do that, some people are like, that's, oh, why is it this expensive? But he did that. So how I see it in my head is, if I'm coming to you, I'm not going to try and undervalue your work or your person's work. I'm going to explain my situation to you that, look, I wish I had this, or can we do this? This is what I can do. And all of, if it works, fine. If it doesn't, okay. But it's important to always leave room like for us to still work together and not have like any bad
vibes or like
vibes towards each other and all of that. So when there are people that come and then speak like that, I'm like, Okay. And then they go, and then they come back, and now they're calmer, they want to
Talk.
be nice and all of that. I'm like, no.
So you can communicate.
Yeah. So me, I'm like, lie, because if this was me, if I'm coming to you with that energy, walai, I'm going to make sure that I pay you your full money. Because if I'm coming with all the gra, I know. So you won't abuse me tomorrow and say, I should say, you still want to beg for this. No.
The shame. Please don't do that.
But then in situations like that, I really I'm like, this life is not hard. Like, just say what you have. I'll say if it works. Like, all these skinny, we all want the same thing.
Right.
So there's no need to...
Common goals.
Exactly.
We just need to be able to align.
It's not a power tussle. So...
And people need to understand that it's really not. It's like,
it's ego sometimes.
A lot of the time, you find out that it's actually just ego. Like, chill.
When people message me sometimes, and it's annoying because the first thing they would expect is that you're a guy. So they'll look, bro. I'm like, first of all, I know that the person that sent you my contacts probably said it as cake, most likely. Okay, maybe they said Jumoke. Jumoke is not the name of a guy.
Masculine in any way.
And I'm just there.
Cake, neither does cake.
Exactly. so I'm like, why do you people just always assume that it can't be a woman? Just say good afternoon or say hi.
Maybe even stop. Like, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but I feel like I've stopped taking that thing personally because you find out that you're just like, how many times do I even want to fix?
It's just but I know sometimes I just mention it to them because you know what? You're going to go out and talk to someone else. You're going to represent Lagos. You're going to represent Nigeria. You're going to represent us. So when you're in rooms like that, yes, please act right. Before they judge the rest of us, please.
Don't disgrace us at home, please. That's crazy. So how important would you say saving is to you? Like saving money?
Very real, because we're in an industry where you know how it is. It's not like the 9 to 5 where you know that
yourself. Fight for yourself.
Yeah, do you understand? So these moments you can get something and it's like a big bag. Do you get? Yeah. We pray for it to continue, but let's be realistic. So it's like, you know what? I've gotten this one today. Okay, tomorrow, yes, I'll try for it to come. But if it doesn't, what do I fall back on and all of that? So it's important, very important.
And how does that basically translate into the work that you do, especially working with producers, working with artists, and how do you kind of communicate that back to them?
I think they get it.
They have to get it.
You see the life that you're enjoying now. Do you want to go back to? I don't have to tell you now. You know the luxury that you're enjoying now. The good things that you're enjoying.
Again, some people can get carried away. It's easy to get carried away.
Well, fair.
It's easy to get carried away.
Do my part and just tell
you for the best.
And if you don't want to listen, I'll send you examples. I won't say too much. I'll just send you examples of people that
this is how it has gone
see
down.
For yourself. And you find out things like, well, to buy nowhere to if you finish spending your money. My money is my money. Your money is your money. I will do my best.
I'm fighting for me and you yet, but please, you need to help me.
I'll do my best, though, but
Nah, I feel you. So, in terms of professionals, people that you think should be more around these creatives, these music creatives, and these people that you actually protect their IPs and stuff, who are the most important people, the most instrumental people in the lives of music creatives that you think, okay, as a young producer, as a young artist, who are the first people that you think this person should have around in their corner?
Not because I'm a lawyer, not because I'm a boss.
Because I was waiting for you to say that. I was waiting for that, but let me hear your answers. And I'll tell you why I asked.
Yeah. I think a lawyer and a manager, to be honest, and I know that most people would say that, what if they can't afford them? That's valid, but it's also how you reach out to the person. I can only use myself as an example. I think I believe so much in people, which might be a blessing and a curse, because I just want everyone to be okay, be happy. Do you understand? Because this life is not we're not going to live with anything and all of that. And
Literally.
if you speak to someone and they genuinely connect with you and they see, like, they understand the vision, or like, they're like, okay, you know what? We can do this together. This is where I see it. Yes, person would come on board and say, yeah, fine. I mean, for a period, okay, I will do this, do that. But the moment you start earning, okay, this is what would happen. That way, that person sees, like, that person believes in you. And I think that's important. But also, if you go and meet someone and they can't do it, I mean, you shouldn't blame them as well, because everybody has their own responsibilities and all of that.
So I was having a conversation with Fuza a while ago, and she basically like said the same thing. They're like, oh, with advice, you have a man, you get a manager, you get a producer, a lawyer and a manager first. More getting a lawyer actually before even getting a manager. And I'm just like, I don't know if people really get the concept of why they need to get lawyers.
I think people think it's because you want to fight or be difficult, but then I see it as even protecting both parties. Like, you're making everything clear. You're saying, no, I'm going to do this for you, you have to do this for me. It's just setting the tone. So tomorrow, if, for example, my producer defaults and you know that we signed this, you can come to me and say, look, this is what we agreed, and it's there, as opposed to you're now coming, you're saying, no, I thought you were going to do this, and I'm telling you that you didn't ask me.
Why did you think?
Yeah, so it's just to protect both parties and then just set everything right, not even to fight.
Not even to fight, so please. And what are some like common, will I call them financial mistakes, or common mistakes that you find like people, creatives making that affects their pockets, affects them financially, affects them in just like, you know, like we've obviously said that like there are times when you have to not explain, but like people need to get the clear message that, bro, this thing is not, you can never be yours forever. No, because it's not a cause. But like, how do you, like, are there some things that you find that, okay, this particular thing, people keep going this route and it's not eating?
How to explain it? So I see, okay, maybe let me use the word pipeline, because as a creative, just think of whatever product you have as a pipeline, because you're still like supplying whatever it is, the pipeline is still working. So today you believe that, you know what, I did this yesterday, the money would come back, I just have to do this. Do you get? So it's like that, you know what, okay, I just have to keep working on this, and yeah, we got XYZ yesterday, we're going to get more. Or in life, in business, anything, there are other factors that affect it. But somehow creatives are like in their own world.
I guess that's where like the would I call it a God complex? But I feel like there's a God complex.
Yeah. So it's like
you find yourself making that.
I did it before, like, I'll do it again.
And you forget.
I mean, I like the energy sometimes, but sometimes it's like, okay,
you need to chill.
Yeah, maybe let's be realistic.
Being realistic would be nice.
Or let's be dreamers. It's good to be dreamers, to be honest.
You don't know how far you can dream for real. Anyways, I guess let's talk about like just life and talk about you now, and like outside of work, when you don't have like when you want to distress, what are the things you find yourself doing? I know you mentioned like you read a lot.
Oh, reading is just what?
It's just one
have you heard of my stories outside in clubs?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
In fact,
so I think you should just ask people after this.
So you like to party?
I love to, and it's not even just it's not music. I think I've always been like that. I'm the one that would organize something and tell my friends, look, we're going here, we're doing this.
What month are you born?
October.
Okay.
So yeah. And then, I mean, if you go to the club, I think that I have a song that's like
I used to know you.
Exactly. So me, I'm a soft life.
No, I saw your picture. I even had to retweet it. I saw your picture with your grills. No, that was fresh as fuck. I'm like, please, not.
I mean, that's
not
me.
The hero and Buba with the grills. This is inspiring.
Me. I mean, I think that most people, even like artists, sometimes we meet in clubs, and then so when I'm calm, when they're like, that's Jumoke, you're pretending. When we see you outside,
you really be showing yourself then.
Yeah, but then
there's this, the iconic picture of you in front of Hotbox with not Chidinma laughing because I feel like she might have sent me that picture. That's my producer, by the way. Yeah, she's.
I dragged all those boys out.
Seriously, that day.
Mm-hmm. I told them, I'm like, look, we're going out.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody, no. Because again, they like to go out sometimes, or sometimes they're like,
Let me even ask. I feel like people always say that producers just like to be in their house. I mean, it makes sense that they do, but do you actually find that they like to be?
They like what they like, to be honest. Yeah, but then for me, it's like if we're trying to change the narrative, like you also have to be a part of it. Also, going out, you see how people react to your music, and then it also helps how you feel. It's not just the artist. I get the artist, but then you can see what people are also listening to. So you're not in your own box or in your own world. You see people react to different things, and then you can draw like a few inspiration from that. And also, you can just go out to enjoy yourself. To be honest, only watch
He's like chill.
So that's also important. Just go out, live life outside of music.
I swear,
enjoy
outside of music actually, because there's a whole world, and I feel like sometimes you forget. I still work with. I don't know if you most likely would know 44dB producer collective. Yeah, so I still
Johnson.
They are literally like we have the same issue. Like you people don't like outside.
I tell my people, I'm like, first, I like to go out. I would leave you sometimes, but sometimes we're going out
to go and see what's happening outside.
And then whether willingly or they'll grumble somehow, because they know that I would not stop whining. I'm just going to go off and see.
Do you enjoy traveling?
I do.
You do. You like it?
I enjoy traveling not because I enjoy traveling to travel and sleep. That's my
the holidays.
Please, miss me. Like, just to chill. You see all those tourist activities, blah, blah, blah. I'm not for it.
Have you been on tour? Like, have you gone? Like,
it's crazy. I don't.
You don't enjoy it.
It's so when people, a lot of times when people see certain things and then they're like, oh, they want to work here. I'm like, you're seeing the beautiful parts, like the crazy parts where people are cursing each other and shouting and all of that. But you still have to make sure that this person gets on stage, this person does certain things. But maybe behind people are eyeing each other, but the show must go on.
Paintings is crazy.
And then that's also how you get to know each other more, because everyone comes from like different backgrounds. You have different values and all of that. You know who you can say, okay, if we're on the road, we can. If we have to share an apartment, yes, I'm fine, we can share. Or the ones that what, please, if I'm in Lokoja, you be in Lagos.
Else you should really understand people.
Yes.
Stuff like that. I feel you. I don't think it's something maybe I would try sometime. Hopefully, if something carries me to the point where we have to, I have to be on tour, like I would. But I don't know if it's something that I would willingly say, I want to go. Because I can't even imagine that stress. Like, whoa.
Yeah, so
anytime I'm thinking about things like, tour, I'm just like, what if my stomach should just start? Just because, bro, look at what just happened. Just how many, I literally just had food poisoning. From where?
My travel hack is I always travel with Gary.
Are you serious?
I travel with food. Like when I'm leaving, I travel with noodles. I travel with I always have a freezer bag with. So it's also because when you're going to a new place, it's for the first few days. No matter how many times you've been there, you still want to be comfortable. I don't want to be thinking of where to get food and all of that. So I have my emergency.
Food. That's very important.
And I learned because there was, I think, 2021 when Hiwa was recording, and we literally got to LA and they're like, the producer is in Miami, so we had to fly almost immediately. And we've been on the flights for how many hours? First of all, I'm like, what is this?
Is this live? How can this be the life that chose me?
And then by the time we went straight to the studio, and then by the time we get to our hotel, she's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I'm hungry too. I am checking wait, there's nothing to do. I'm just on my Gary. I'm like, we will manage this night. And
then carry saving lives, even in LA.
Tomorrow morning, I'll find food.
We have to just manage ourselves today, please. That's interesting. I love laughing and I love stories like this. You don't really get it often, but like very interesting that you get to live like that and you just get to.
I mean, sometimes I forget that in like this moment. I think it's what I try to remind myself.
Is that something you find yourself struggling with? Or it's like
I think so. Like so it's the same way when anyone says, "Oh, well done for doing this, blah blah blah." It's like
just the same way when I said that I admire the work that you do.
I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, thank you. So it's like, so I have to constantly remind myself that, or in a couple of years, like when they're saying the history of Nigerian music or anything, like, I mean, I played my part too. Like it's like watching all these Kanye documentaries or any documentary at all. And I'm like, oh yes, I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes like, well, are you crazy?
Is that not what you're doing?
Yeah.
So is that not what you're doing?
Oopsie.
Yeah, but I guess you have to like constantly like remind yourself that, you know,
this
is actually my real life. That's okay. Because not everybody gets this life. I mean, like it's a blessing, like you said, a blessing and a curse sometimes. It's crazy.
When you have to think for how many people and you still have to think for yourself. And then sometimes you don't feel like showing up, but unfortunately,
don't have it.
You have to. But I mean, I think my people understanding and so sometimes they're like, Auntie Cake, okay, let's leave you. Say how many days do you need? Or sometimes I'm like, you know what, I need 3 days. Just don't talk to me for 3 days. Except you're dying or someone is dying. And then I promise you the third day they're back. Like, okay, so yes.
Like it never happened. 3 days, I'm don't like, finish. You asked for 3. We gave you 3, please. Let's get back to it. I guess that's very interesting. I love that. I want to ask about like producers. You mentioned something about the narrative that you're trying to change. And is that something that how do I ask this question? Basically, how would you say that like producers kind of convert their like just being a producer to actually being a brand? Like, how does that I guess that's something that I've been able to, like, over time, we've been able to see with a lot of the producers I've worked with. It's obviously an intentional thing. No matter how you've mentioned having to drag people out and do things like that, but like, what are also like some things that you do or you've done that have helped you to like basically build some of these different brands?
I think the first thing is understanding their personality. They have different personalities. They have things that they're comfortable with. One of my producers, for example, Big Fish.
Okay.
Hilary is calm. Hilary is outgoing.
We went to school together. Like,
oh wow,
secondary school.
Hilary is outgoing in his own way, but he just wants to do music and probably come back. But I'm like, you know what? You can't hide behind that. You have to show personality. I'm like, I'm not saying be as loud as everyone else. There are things you like. Iliri loves perfumes. I'm like, talk about that. The person might also like it. Iliri knows the best spots to chill or eat in Lagos.
No,
I'm like,
really. Because he's always out. He's one of my friends. They're always going to the next restaurant to go to.
I'm like, Iliri, I know that you like these things because sometimes we do it together. But I need people to see you. I need you to post more about that. I need you to put it out there, like, because it's you. So I don't think that it will be hard for you to do that. I'm not saying come and stand on the chair that you wouldn't like to do, for example. So and then I think also PR or getting them in the news somehow. I mean, the artist would mention you in their own, but it's not about you, it's them. So control the narrative. Let's do 1 or 2 interviews. Let's do 3. Let's speak to people. Let people even know you. Like, you'll be surprised at how many people like know the music, probably know your tag, but they can't put a face to it. So that's like, I think that's one thing that I've been able to do. Like, okay, we're doing this interview, your name has to be there.
Yeah.
And all of that. Yeah. Visibility.
Just getting them in the right spaces, getting them to.
I mean, we'll try all the spaces. If it's not the right one, we'll go back and say,
anyway.
yeah, this one.
At the end of the day, you have to actually
keep bombing.
Keep bombing for literally keep bombing, because you have to do the trial and error, test it out and stuff like that, and that's cool. But yeah, what's the rest of when I say the year, you can't know, but let's just say what are the plans for the next quarter? Do you have any plans to be on road?
Yes, so
are you serious?
Gimba. Okay. I mean, he just dropped he and OMO did something together that dropped last week.
Right.
But we're also working on like a capsule project, and then a unit tour at some point, because community is important. It's easy to get lost in like the digital space. Yeah. I think that's it. But then there are people offline and that are equally as important. Mm-hmm. These people, because I had to think, I'm like, them Wiz and Badu, all of them back then, like when social media wasn't this crazy, what did they do? There was one-on-one interaction with people. That's how people feel like, you know what, I'm part of this brand, like I did something. And with that, it's easy to sell anything to people because they're connected to you. But if we're doing, 1 million streams, it's good. But the other people that aren't online, what do you do? So it's like, you know what, Gimba, yes, I know that things have happened like really fast, but now we have to like go back and now start like
doing the
building again. So that's what we're doing. And
it's good.
Prime is going to start DJing.
Are you serious?
He already does inside. He does, but
Prime wants to do everything.
The funny thing is, he was a DJ before a producer.
Are you serious?
Out of curiosity, like he was like, "Oh, let me even produce." So I mean, he does that inside. I'm like, "Okay, Prime, we need to show the world now."
And the crazy thing is, he's going to be good at it.
Yeah, so it's like Prime, let's start. So you see how when Burna is performing, and then you see how there are videos of like his mom dancing and all that. I'm like, Prime, I have my feet ready. Please, I have festivals that I need us to perform at. Like, I need this motion and all of that. So that as well. Maybe he'll drop his projects. I don't know.
Let's see.
Maybe. Shemzi is... I mean, he's worked on something with Easy Scope. I think we're just finalizing, and then that should drop. And then, I mean... Tells more work. His project is supposed to drop too.
Tells?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but you know, with creatives, 1 minute they're ready, the next minute it's like, so I think I'll just wait for them to finally say. But otherwise, I mean, for us is to grow, to learn, to become a brand, like this thing that they have, make it grow into something bigger, and I mean, open more doors with it, even outside of music and all of that. So, yeah. So that's it.
And for you personally, outside of the work, what about you? What do you want to do in this next quarter? Do you have any like personal plans and stuff like that? Or you don't know yet? It's fine.
I don't know. I just think that, again, like I think I said earlier, just be more intentional about myself, and then be present, like enjoy things in moments.
Yes,
and
please.
You know what? Be more open, because I just like to be in my own world with my own people and all of that. But I'm like, you know what? I mean, maybe let me see what it will be like. Like,
yeah. But you started at least. You didn't say no to the podcast, so that.
I mean, because you know what? Because I saw this, I'm like, you like purple too, and purple is my favorite color.
Are you serious?
Like, okay.
No, you're too real for it.
So it's like, all right, purple.
Let's go. Let's do it. I love that. I really, really appreciate that. That's cute. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully, we'll bring you back sometime soon.
I'll come in my gang.
Please.
My squad.
Please. We would love to have all of them. I spoke to P Prime, but like that was 2021 when I first started my podcast. He was one of the first guests. So shout out to P Prime.
Yay!
God bless you always. Hopefully, I'm trying to speak to Shemzi soon.
We're going to come here.
everybody come and the whole gang.
We'll send you a rider.
Please.
Be ready for
Please.
us.
I'll send you the. Don't worry. Anything you want.
No
Anyways,
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for watching another episode of Osikoya Speaks. And I'll see you soon.